lovely people of Ghana. Ababila Mary is my name, and I'm very grateful and so happy to share my life experience with you all. Yes, as it is said, there is no smoke without fire. We have good experiences and bad experiences. The good experiences of my life is to be part and parcel of this first edition of Face of NTV. This is the first edition of Face of NTV, which I'm so very grateful to be part of. This alone shows how happy I am. And I am so fascinated about one thing I did in my life, which I know and wish to repeat it. I helped a friend. Actually, I advised a friend. He brought his problem, which I addressed, and it changed his life positively in so many ways. Well, for the bad experience, we all know how it feels to live without a mom. I was just 3 when my parents separated. This has been really bad for me. And we all can bear witness about the fact that one has to grow up with just a dad. There are things that really a woman should be involved. But with my case, I grew up with just my dad, which has really been bad. And there's one thing I've ever done which I wish never to repeat ever again. It was with my grandma. She was on her sick bed. As at then, I was just 9 years old. I didn't know anything, and it was really heartbreaking. She was on her sick bed, sent me to get her some items, which I didn't do. I went in. It was a marriage ceremony which I attended. I just went to watch it without attending to her needs. By the time I returned from the ceremony, she had passed away. It was so devastating. I wish never to repeat that in my life again. Well, this is a bit of my life experiences.
My name is Osman Hilda Zivan Sumbariera. My good experiences. My good experience day was the day I had admission to Polytechnic. I was someone who was in love with education, but then after my senior high school, I was just in the house whiling away time. But then I was into modeling, but then I didn't get the opportunity to go back to school. But the day I was called to come to Polytechnic, I was so excited. I was so flabbergasted to the extent that I didn't even know what to do with myself. And when I got to campus, I was able to relate with everybody, and it was fun. And that was the day I was so happy in my life. And my bad experiences, my bad experience day was the day I lost my granddad. I grew up with my granddad. I never knew my mom until I was 16 years of age. I didn't know who my mom was, though I was given birth by her. I lived all my life with my dad. I had everything. I was born with a silver spoon in my mouth until I lost my granddad and everything shattered. I had to come back to Wa to live with I had to come back and then go and see my dad and my mom. I remember I met my mom in the market and I couldn't recognize her. I passed by her because I don't even know her. I have never seen her face. I know I had a mom, but I have never seen her face before. Until I stayed with her. How to even open my mouth and call her mom was so difficult because that affection and that connection wasn't there. It was really difficult for me. But I had to pick the pieces up. What I used to enjoy, everything was shattered. It got to a time my mom asked me, why can't I call her mother? I couldn't give her an answer. Because I found myself in a situation where I lived only with a man, which is my grandfather. I've never seen my mom. So that kind of connection was very hard. It was really hard for me to even call my mom's mom or the mother. I couldn't. But with time, everything fell in place. It really took me time though, but everything, the pieces, I was able to put the pieces together. And with my dad too, I had a very big problem because the first day I saw him, I didn't recognize him until I was told by my siblings that here is your father. For him to, it was very hard for me to be able to get to know him. It was really hard for me, but then I just had to push things forward, and then I was able to make everything work. And then what I did, and I've regretted, was I had an ambition to go to a nursing training, alright. And let me use this word. Foolishly, I decided not to go because I had a boyfriend who was controlling my life. Sorry to say this, but then I really regret till today. Midwifery was my dream, but then things didn't just work out, and I regret till today that I wasn't able to go to school, and I decided to snub that just because of a guy. Till today, I'm not really happy about it. But then by God's grace, I'm pushing forward. I'm into something I think God will open a way for me. And what I have done and I would love to do again is when I went for Miss Upper West, I was so happy. That was my first beauty pageant. And when I was given the opportunity to teach people how to catwalk and all that, I was so excited. That was something I did and I would love to do again. Because the experiences I had was fun. It was just unimaginable. I had so much fun. I would have been very happy if I could get to do that one thing once more. And one of my happiest moments I would like to share is when I had admission to the university. I was happy because my results was withheld because of the demonstration we did. So I lost hope in going to the university that same year because I wanted to go that same year. So when my results was released, then the admission forms were still ongoing. I had to go and pick one. Then I had the chance to go to the university. And one of the things I did in the past that I would love to do is debating, because I'm good at debating. I love debating. Back at SHS, we did a debate for young female parliamentarians, and then we won it. So I would love to continue with my debating. And also, one of my sad moments I would like to share is when I was in SHS, I was very sick. So my colleagues were telling me to come home, that I refused to come home. So my sickness became so severe that I had to go home. When I went home, I met a lot of people in my house. So when I went, I didn't understand why people were there. So I was there for almost 2 years, for almost 2 days, sorry. No one told me what was happening in the house. And the third day, my mom called me and told me that, do I know the reason why people are gathered here? I said no. Then she told me that I lost my sister. That's why people are gathered here. So that's the sad experience of my life.
Abdullah Hina is my name.
Please speak louder.
Abdullah Hina is my name. Some of the experiences, especially the good ones I have experienced in life. When I went and told my father that I'll go back to school, and my dad is a harsh kind, but when I went to tell him, oh, I'll go back to school, he said okay. He didn't say anything, he just said okay, since you decided to go back to school. And I'm happy because I gathered the courage to go and tell him that I want to go back to school. And in life there are good and bad experiences. And the bad experiences in my life is when I followed my auntie to Niger. When I followed my auntie to Niger, and with her I was doing everything until I saw that all my friends are going to school and I am not going to school. I told her that I also want to go to school, and she told me I'm too dumb. She told me I'm too dumb to go to school, so I can't go to school. This made me feel very low, and always I'm sad anytime I'm around him, anytime I'm around her, until one day she told me that anytime she sees me, she feels like beating me. These are some of the things I experience in life, and what I regret doing was when I went to tell my auntie that my dad said I should pack my things from her place to the house. It's a bad experience and something I have regretted is because I told a lie. That my dad didn't say it, because I told a lie that my dad said I should pack my things and move away from him.
Hey, yeah. Anywhere you there, I go there. I said it, Coco, my one and only. Baby, cause you want, I go hustle. Baby, take my heart, baby, carry go. If you think I go leave you, God forbid, yeah. If you leave me, die be this year. You just show me things I can't resist, yeah. I go mention your name to the whole wide world.
I'm Sami Hassan, and my good experience I've had so far, it's when I had to go on a global internship outside Ghana. It was like, this was like the moment I've been waiting for all this while. For me, it was really like a very wonderful experience. I traveled to Tunisia for an exchange program where I worked for 7 weeks, and there I discovered myself more. That was when I found out who truly I was and who really I was. And this internship, I was living in a house with 40 people, and that was like my first time of seeing a self-contained house that could contain 40 people. And those were people from all over different countries. And we stayed together like a family, and I was the only black among them, but they treated me like their own. They treated me the same. There was nothing like discrimination. I felt at home. Like, even when I didn't have money, I got help from people. And what the experience taught me was that no matter what, like, you should cherish every moment you have with people that you meet. And throughout this experience, I found out who truly I was. That if you don't know something, you don't know it, and you should admit that you don't know it. Because I learned a lot throughout this experience. I learned how to be more humble than I was. And when I came back, my parents saw a lot of difference. They saw that I really changed from the way I used to be. And one thing that I would love to do again is have the same experience with these same people, this family. Even though we still keep connected, we still keep in touch. It's like the same thing all the time. And and that's one thing I would love to do again. My bad experience had been when I was 7 years old. I had a fracture. I fell from a tree, and my parents were not at home as at then. My mom used to work with non-formal education, so she used to travel a lot, and my dad too, because he had 2 wives. He could travel from Tamale to, by then we were staying in Bimbila. I climbed the tree and I was playing with my siblings, and my senior sister told me to get down from the tree, but I refused, and I was still on the tree. When it was time for me to play, I came down to play and I fell on my left hand, and the hand got broken. When my hand got broken, my parents were not around, so it was our neighbor who was there. They brought this local medicine person to take care of the hand, and then the hand was not actually broken, it was twisted, so the man forcibly broke the hand, but we all thought the hand was broken. So when the man forcibly broke the hand, I kept crying for days, but they thought I was just exaggerating the tears because my parents were very used to me crying, and like everybody thought like I was just crying for fun. But then this continued for some time till my parents came home. A week later, after the treatment, the man couldn't come to remove the local. Usually when your hand is broken, they will break the leg of a hen. When the hen heals, your hand will heal. So the man never came back. And the last day for him to come, he disappeared. We didn't know where he went to. I don't know if till now they found the man or not. So my mom got pissed and washed off the drugs, the local medicine, and then took me to the hospital. And at the hospital, I spent almost a month at the hospital, where they restructured everything again and then kept the POP. Because the POP was a twisted one, it was like turned. I was going through these pains for like 3 months in the hospital till I got discharged, and then with the POP, I still had the POP on my hand when I got discharged and went back to school. I was made fun by my friends because I had that POP on me. So they removed the POP. When they removed the POP, the hand was still twisted, and so I don't have a very straight hand. When I got to JSS 1, that was like 5 years after. When I got to JSS, my friends used to make fun of me that I had this twisted hand. And anytime they made fun of me, I cried because I didn't understand why the hand became like an insult. It wasn't something I bought from the market, and people used to make fun of me. So I forced my parents that I wanted the hand to be straight. When I got to JSS 2, they took me back to the hospital again, where they told my parents there was this specialist in Rich Hospital in Accra. They took me back again for another operation. And after that operation, they had this pin they kept in the hand, which was a bit straight, but then it wasn't still straight. I still had the same problem, and then I realized I had a very low self-esteem because I used to be very shy, and I used to hide the hand because I wasn't very comfortable showing the hand. Then after the operation, the hand was still the same, like nothing changed. I only still went through pains for some time again, and the hand was still the same way. When I finished junior high school, I still insisted I wanted the hand to be straight, so they took me to Sakobu. It's around Naliruku, where they said there was a local specialist who was very good, so, and he could look into the hand. When he did it, the final day for him to treat the hand, I mistakenly pushed the medicine away, and so still I couldn't have him straighten the hand, so I ran back to Tamale. And when I ran back to Tamale, that was when I made my mind about it. I picked up myself and I told myself that I was going to be stronger than ever. And then the last operation I had to, because I kept feeling pains whenever the weather was very cold, and whenever it's hot, I feel itches in my hand. So I went back to the hospital again for another operation. And then thinking that this was the last operation I was going to have because the man was a very good specialist, but nothing still changed. It was still the same. And after going through physiotherapies and some time, I still had the same hand. And this has just taught me that no matter what, you need to accept yourself. Like, nothing is gonna change, and you need to appreciate what you have. This was like the worst experience I've ever had in my life, because growing up as a child, I believe I was very beautiful, and I believe I didn't have any default till I had this fracture. And since then, I don't know, for people that really know me, they would realize that even sometimes I still hide the hand. I don't feel very comfortable. Like, when I'm walking and I notice people are watching me, I try to hide it. It has been like the worst experience I've had.
Yeah. Anywhere you there, I go there. I said it, Coco, my one and only. If you car you want, I go hustle. Baby, take my heart, baby, carry go. If you think I gon' leave you, God forbid, yeah. If you leave me, die be this year. You dey show me things I can't resist, yeah. I go mention your name to the whole wide world.
JF Jessica Yurlum is my name. My good experience is when I was given the office of production manager in my workplace. I was always putting my best, doing what I knew how to do most. And at that moment, it was like my efforts were being seen and someone believed in me and then thought I could do the job. So I was given the office. It went on well. I learned new things and I was so excited doing it. What I would like to do again is help a friend out, because a friend needed my help in getting a job, and then I just put little efforts in it, and then he had the job. So I'd love to repeat it whenever any of my friends need that effort, that help from me. My bad experiences: when my dad lost his job and my mom too lost her job. Thieves broke into her saloon and then took away with everything she had. And I completed senior high school, gained admission into tertiary, Ghana Telecom University College, and then immediately my dad got the news. And I was given the information that my dad had a stroke. I was so bad because I felt so bad because all because of me, my dad had a stroke. It wasn't easy seeing my dad lying down doing nothing. He couldn't talk, he didn't do anything. Getting food on the table was so hard. My senior sister left us and taking care of my junior brothers were on my head. It wasn't easy at all. Due to that, I had to involve myself in internet fraud just to take care of a family. And I really regret doing that. Because of that, I've been branded as a bad person. Everybody sees me as a thief. It's not easy. You'll be walking around and then people are pointing fingers. That's the girl doing Sakawa.
Also to Silvera, my good experiences when I was called to go for a Japanese festival in Accra with some friends of mine. In fact, it was a very great excursion I ever had. I went and met some Japanese friends, and the most important part was me learning the dance, the Japanese dance. In fact, it was very great for me, and I got a chance to talk to some Japanese friends. They taught me some languages, and today I can say it. When I meet some Japanese friends, I can communicate with them very well. It's a good experience for me. In fact, Accra was a great one, and I would love to go there again when given the opportunity to go for a Japanese festival. And my bad experience. that was actually the time I got admission into the university. I went to print my admission letter out, went to the village to give it to my dad. I gave the admission letter out, then I returned back to Wa, hoping he would call me back for my school fees. I waited 3 days for the time given for the school fees to be paid. I didn't hear anything from him. So I decided to call him to remind him maybe if he has forgotten. So when I called, he was like, oh, he's still looking for the money, he will get back to me. So I was still waiting and hoping he would give me the money the next day. I waited and waited, I was not hearing anything. On the last day for the closing of the deadlines for the payment of school fees, I called him. I called him by Baba in our language, Baba. The deadline is today and I've not gotten the money to go and pay, so what do I do? What he would tell me was that I should go and tell my mom. He doesn't have hand in my education. I should go and tell my mom. And the mistake I did was that upon all that what was going on, I didn't communicate to my mom. I was taking all the decision with my dad. It was at the latter part when my dad said he wouldn't do it, I didn't call my mom. And my mom was like, so all this was going on, he didn't tell me. You're not telling me today, what do you want me to do? I was on the phone, quiet. Then she said she would get back to me. I waited and waited, I didn't hear from her too. I called her, she was also down. When I call her, she'll be crying. So Vera, so now that today is a deadline, you are also saying you want to go to school. So what do you want me to do? I told her, okay, I have some 7 million I have saved after my senior high school education, but I can't go and pay because they are asking for full payment. So I don't know what to do. As at that day, early morning, 8 o'clock, I started making calls. I'll call my family members. This is the problem. What they tell me is, so Vera, it's too late. We can't get the money for you today. It's too late. I called my mom. She said she was going out to see if she would get a place to borrow. She went out and everybody's like, the amount is so much and she can't borrow. So I'll call anybody, the person would give me a negative reply. I was running helter-skelter until I called a good Samaritan and I cried to him and he said, okay, he will borrow me the money, but I'll pay back later. He quickly went and did the money, chumbo money for me. Now I got to the office. Withdrawing this money was a problem. The network was down. And the time for the school fees, the time for the banks to close was due. Almost 4:30. And you have to be in the bank before 4:30, if not they'll close the door. It was now a problem. I struggled and struggled and struggled. And God being so wonderful, I was able to withdraw the money and everything paid my school fees. I paid my school fees. I called my mom and I told her this is the problem. I've paid the school fees. And my mom was like, okay. And how to pay back that money I borrowed was a problem. It was a big problem to me because I don't know how I'll work out to pay that huge sum of money. And my dad has turned his back at me. I don't know what to do. So I used almost a year to pay the money back to the guy. So I say thank you to that guy on this day. I'm very grateful. During my second year, same problem. My mom was like, Silvera, if it is difficult, come back and sit down and go and learn something. Maybe hairdressing or seamstressing. That one will help you. I said, no, I will not do it. I must go to school. I struggled and struggled to date. And I'm almost done with my education. This had been my bad experience in my life. And what I regret doing in life was when I was with my friends and I took as a friend and a sister. Then I was staying with her alright. There was nothing going on with us. But then when I got to WA, I was not having a place to stay, so I decided to go and stay with her. Then just one day, one night, she was like, Silvera, you have to pack out because my dad heard you are staying with me and he's angry, so you have to pack out. That night, I don't have any place to go. I have to pack my things out. Then I got to the roadside. Where do I go? I can't go anywhere. I don't have any place to go to. So just by the roadside, there was this tent, an NDC tent that was there. That was where I kept my bag under the chair, and I laid on the bench till the next morning. The next morning I got up. I don't know where to go. How to even bath was a problem. I went to approach a man. The man was like, he will help me. He took me to a hotel room so that I could bath and then freshen up. We got to the hotel room and it was a different thing altogether. He wanted to sleep with me. He wanted to take advantage of my problem and then sleep with me, and I was not interested. He also turned his back at me. He went out and left me in the hotel room without the hotel room being paid. And it was a hell. I didn't know how to pay for the hotel room and then check out because it was almost 12. And I meant to stay there, I'll have to pay double. So I have to go and then kneel before the CA, the owner of the place. And I told him my everything. That this was my situation, and he understood me and then asked me to go, and he went to get me a room. He got a room for me and I was staying. It was, he gave me the place again to work as a receptionist since I was not schooling by then. So that was what I regret doing. I regret not to go and stay with a friend in my life. That's what I regret doing.
Yeah. Anywhere you there, I go there. I said it, Coco, my one and only. If because you want, I go hustle. Baby, take my heart, baby, carry go. If you think I go leave you, God forbid, yeah. If you leave me, die be this year. You dey show me things I can't resist, yeah. I go mention your name to the whole wide world.
And in life, I have had quite a lot of good experiences. And one of them is when I auditioned in Bolga for Face of NTV. I was very happy and elated when I was picked to represent Upper East. And for one good thing that I would like to repeat is when I was chosen in Bolga. I really loved the feeling at that moment, and I wish to audition over and over again. In life, there comes a time when bad experiences creep in. And one of them is when I lost a friend recently in a car accident. Her name was Mildred. Her name was Mildred. May her soul rest in perfect peace. And what I have regretted much in life is not being able to come out of my shell. I am a very reserved type, and I think with MTV I will be able to open up and live my life the way I want it.
My name is Elizabeth Asakwene Atia. My good experience was the first day I took communion in church. I felt different. I felt the Holy Spirit was actually with me. I felt extremely graced. Also, what I would love to do over and over again is, in collaboration with my other executives, NASPA in the Bolga district, we went to some selected district to sensitize the girl's child on teenage pregnancy. It was an eyesore. I would love to sensitize my girls over and over again. And for my past experience, none. I don't have any. And for what I regret doing in the past, the truth of the matter is that I don't regret anything. The mistake I did yesterday paves way for me to do better things today. My mistakes yesterday has made me who I am today. And so when given the chance, I would love to do it over and over again, just to learn new things from them. Thank you.
I'm Abdulhamid Hamdia. My good experiences in life has been the first time I had admission to go into the University of Cape Coast. That was my tertiary level. And the time I met people and I associated myself with my friends out there, I got to know the way they speak, what they like and what they dislike. And what I have done and I would love to do again is, the time I visited Parliament House, I got an experience and a chance to meet other people and learn about the environment there. And my bad experience in life is the time my father divorced my mom, and it was like I was forced to change my school from private school to government school. I felt bad about that, but all the same, my mother did her best to take very good care of me, and I want to say thanks to her for her care. And what I've done and I regret doing is, at my SHS level, I had a very close friend whom at a point in time I had a quarrel with her, and after our SHS, like 3 years now, I haven't met her again. So I wish I had the chance to meet her so that I could apologize for what I have done in the past. Thank you.
Yeah. Anywhere you there, I go there. I said it, Coco, my one and only. Baby, car you want, I go hustle. Baby, take my heart, baby, car we go.